Valerie is an adventure traveler and a solo explorer, always searching for raw, authentic moments in her journeys alone. On her personal YouTube channel, she often shares peaceful experiences, the kindness of locals, and the untouched beauty of remote places. And this time, her destination is Lulu Hot Springs, a place shaped by heat rising from deep beneath the earth. At first, everything feels calmer than Valerie expected. She quickly finds the location and immerses herself in its wild, natural beauty.
I made it! No one's here. Oh, I have the whole place to myself. Oh, I'm so done. Holy shit! Oh.
But that very beauty hides the dangers surrounding her. The ground temperature shifts unpredictably. Just a few steps can take you from warmth to burning heat. Thick sulfur fills the air, heavy and sharp, enough to make you dizzy if you stay too long. The terrain is slippery from condensed steam, scattered with boiling pools that have no warning signs. And most importantly, there is no one else around. No phone signal, no passers-by, no chance of being found if something goes wrong.
Whoa! What? Few rocks were falling down right there where I was walking before, and they were quite big, so it's quite dangerous here. Should leave soon, I guess. Thank you, Hot Spring! You gave me a lot. I was really tempted to explore more and go deeper into the canyon, but the risk of getting hit by falling rocks was just too high. My knees were shaking a bit when I passed this canyon a second time, because after seeing the big rock falling off the cliff, I imagine I stood there and yeah, it could have ended very badly. So if you come here, please be aware, look up a lot, or bring a helmet. Much safer, for sure.
To leave Lulu, Valerie has only one option: cross a deep, freezing river on her own, while her body is already drained by heat, dehydration, and exhaustion. What seemed like a routine kayak fishing trip, quiet water, familiar casts, took a sudden and disturbing turn when Brad noticed something alarming directly beneath him, forcing him to quickly get off the kayak. After regaining his composure, Brad immediately contacted the police. But to this day, the identity of the man and what led him to that fate remains an unanswered question. On August 7th, 2016, Josh uploaded a video that he never expected would become the most haunting experience of his cave exploration journey. At first, the plan was simple: enter Ape Cave, a well-known lava tube beneath Mount St. Helens, where people believe that with enough lights and cameras, you can safely make your way back out. But caves don't follow human logic. The deeper they went, the weaker the light became. The temperature dropped quickly. The ceiling lowered to the point where they had to crouch and crawl close to the ground. Some passages were so tight that even a small mistake could mean there was no way back. And then, just when everyone believed the expedition was over, the most chilling moment appeared.
But this is the end?
This is the end. There's a wall now.
There's no freaking... So we made it to the end of the tunnel without backing down, everyone.
Yep. You would probably have to dig down.
If we had a couple spoons, we might be able to shiver our way more in.
Yeah, because some spoons we need.
I can't believe we made it. Yeah, I was going to turn back. I was like, no, we got to keep going. But we made it to the very end.
Yeah, you never know what you can find.
That's sick.
And this is pretty cool. This
is
like our own hideout right now.
This is our hideout. No one else would even come here, so this is definitely a secret spot.
We got
our new secret spot. We have the secret beach, and now this.
Okay. Got it. Can I head back now? This girl doesn't have a flashlight. Yeah, I'm gonna take out my phone actually.
English?
I don't know
You
if
speak
they
English? No English.
No?
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay, come with us.
Hey, Josh. Do you see those, the couple that was back there?
You wanna come with
Tell
us?
them their daughter's up here and she's scared.
They don't speak. She doesn't speak
She doesn't
English.
speak
They don't
English.
speak English.
It's okay.
It's alright. This is the way back.
No one knew how, but a little girl had crawled deep into the cave. No flashlight, no experience, no protective gear, just her alone in the cold darkness. Surrounded by narrow passages that could collapse at any moment, the group had no choice but to stop, guide her back out, and help search for her parents, who were somewhere in the cave, calling out her name in panic in their own language.
What an experience. As we were about to leave, this little girl comes up out of nowhere, scares us, and at first we're like, wait, whose parents are hers? And she was just there alone by herself. Then she just sits there in the back, so I started talking to her, but she wouldn't answer me. And I was like, wait a minute, I don't think she speaks English. It turns out she really didn't speak English at all. She's by herself, crawled the whole way in there by herself, no light. No light, what the heck? I don't get it, no light.
And the most haunting thought is the one no one wants to face. If they hadn't found her, what would her fate have been?
Sophie is a camper from Denmark who documents her solo trips across Scandinavia. Her channel is built around nature, quiet forests, long wilderness hikes, and nights spent alone under open skies. Much of it is about self-reliance, proving to herself that she can handle being alone. And in this video, that challenge is pushed further than ever before. For the first time, Sophie chooses to spend the night alone in an open wood shelter deep in the forest.
Today my plan is to stay here in this wood shelter. We have quite a lot of these permanent wood shelters all around Denmark, and they have become very popular to camp in because you don't need to bring a tent, you just need to bring a sleeping pad and a sleeping bag, and then you have this lovely campsite where you can spend the night.
The shelter sits uncomfortably close to Copenhagen's main airport. Every 5 minutes, a plane roars overhead, tearing through the silence. It isn't the peaceful wilderness people imagine, but it's still forest, and that's what matters to her. After gathering firewood and settling in, Sophie begins her evening routine. She builds a fire and cooks a simple, traditional Danish camping meal, hot dogs with homemade bread wrapped around a stick. As she cooks, the sun sinks lower. The temperature drops, the forest darkens, and the mood slowly changes.
Hot dog number 2. This ended up being quite a late dinner, but it was very good. 2 hot dogs. Now I'm full. Oh, I actually could have eaten one more, but 2 was enough.
The video never explains the lights. They appear once while she's eating, then return 2 more times later. Sophie never mentions them. She doesn't react, but the camera captures them clearly, quiet, distant, out of place.
And now the forest is starting to make a lot of sounds. I don't know what it is. As soon as it gets dark, all sounds just becomes a little bit scary. I have no idea if you can hear this on the camera, but there are these big, like, branches snapping or breaking in that direction. And now there's an airplane, so you probably can't hear it. But I'm just, I get a tiny bit scared whenever I hear that sound. But it's probably just a deer or something. I actually did see a deer on my way here when I was biking. It was laying just beside the path, and yeah, I scared it biking, so it jumped off and ran. Now I can hear some people talking in that direction. But I mean, we are very close to the city, and a lot of people are using this forest area. And most people are nice, so I don't think there's anything to be worried about, even though my brain can run off. And now my flashlight is flickering as if the battery is low.
Despite everything, the lights, the strange sounds, the voices in the distance, the flashlight slowly failing, Sophie chooses to stay. She arranges her sleeping bag with the opening facing outward so she can see into the darkness if something moves. By morning, she's still there. She made it through the night. She proved to herself that she could camp alone in an open shelter on a weekday and still make it to work the next morning, even with everything that happened after dark. But the questions remain. Those lights, their timing, their silence. So what do you think they were? And have you ever experienced something like that while camping alone? Omar is a vlogger who documents his life and travels, frequently alongside his wife. For his birthday, she put together a surprise, an overnight stay in a treehouse, something Omar had always wanted to do. What they didn't expect was what the night had in store for them.
What is up, fam? Hope you're having a great day today. Welcome to My Life Movie. Got Shelly here with me, and today happens to be my 43rd birthday, and she wanted to surprise me with a pretty creepy surprise. No, it's always been a dream of mine to stay in a treehouse. One of Shelly's dreams too. We've never done it before, and she found on Airbnb a very interesting treehouse in Ocala, not far from Ocala, Florida. We're not far from there. Upon arrival, we're going through these really creepy dirt roads in the middle of the night, and then we come across this crate right here, and then I don't know what happened after.
Well, this is where we were supposed to park, at this crate.
It was pretty shady. I was like, am I gonna get murdered on my birthday?
And then he's like, what are we doing? Where are we staying?
So here, let's walk them through the little trail here. They were like, you go behind the crate, and then you're gonna see these two little mushrooms. I was like, no, this sounds bad. We're about to
he stayed in the car while I went and found the mushrooms.
I was like, no, she could get murdered first. She set me up.
Actually, I made him stay in the car so I could see it, because I didn't want him to see it. I wanted it to be a surprise.
Yeah, I didn't let her just go home. She wanted to do that. But there goes the two mushrooms right there. Let's go. Let's see what's behind those mushrooms. We were walking, and I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? This is so scary. We're in the middle of nowhere.
Pitch black. It was
so dark. We kept hearing noises all around us. In fact, I'm going to play for you a clip of us hearing some creepy things in the middle. I swear this place is probably haunted, because we kept hearing stuff and then not seeing stuff. I don't know. You let me know what you think. It's out there. I hear you. Oh. What is it?
Do you see anything?
I don't know. Maybe it's a bear.
I hope it's not a bear. I'll be running up those stairs. God, it's so creepy because I can hear noises all...
It's loud.
What the hell?
It's getting closer.
I know.
Oh my God. What the hell?
We're literally...
Hello?
Babe.
Whatever it is not afraid of us. Oh my God!
But you hear it. It's still something there.
What if it's some... Oh, I'll get on this chair.
Be careful, that might break.
Okay.
Step on the metal of that.
It's getting closer and closer, whatever it is.
I know.
It's like I hear it, but I don't see it. It's a lot closer now.
God, that is so freaking creepy.
You have a flashlight?
I have my phone.
Shine your phone over there.
Oh, God.
It's getting closer and closer.
know, but what is it?
I don't know. Hello?
Oh, God, babe. What if it's a bear?
Then we
Run like hell?
get up there in our treehouse.
I hear stuff all around us. This is so creepy. Oh, my God.
It's like right there.
I know. What is it? Oh, my God. This is so scary.
What is it?
Babe, you're not gonna...
Is that it right there?
Huh?
At some point, they started hearing noises coming from the direction of the bushes. The obvious explanation was an animal nearby, but nothing was moving. No rustling leaves, no shifting branches, just sound and stillness. Nothing happened to them that night. No confrontation, no attack, but the feeling that something was out there, just beyond the tree line, watching, that never quite went away. This clip comes from Ads, the creator behind the YouTube channel Ads Ventures. Since early 2022, he has documented remote explorations, camping trips, and the hunt for unusual finds. His content is driven by curiosity, low-stakes, lighthearted adventure. But on the night of June 23, 2025, a sudden act of destruction pulled him into something far removed from his usual world. Ads was heading to the Kent coast on a simple mission: track down a rare antique from a shop he had his eye on. Before making the trip, he needed somewhere to park up for the night near Wansley.
We are on an extremely, and I stress, extremely important mission like no other. Unless, of course, somebody's done a mission that's similar before, then it's a mission. Oh, I haven't come as far as Rye because I looked on the map and parking there seemed like a bit of a nightmare. There's height barriers on all the car parks. So we're in a place now called Winchelsea, or we're near Winchelsea anyway. I think we're on the way there. We should be there in 1 minute. And because the antique shop is going to be shut today already, I'm thinking we're just going to rock up here, have some dinner, which is something I've never had before, by the way, and then from there we can go on to this shop in the morning. I found this one here. I don't know if I trust it. Is it wide enough? Far enough from the danger of the road? I reckon it probably is.
He found a quiet lay-by set back from the main road, away from traffic and other people. Rolling hills, grazing sheep, open views. It felt like a reasonable place to stop. As evening came in, he got settled in his van and made dinner. Outside, unbeknownst to him, someone was already there.
So I'm going to start with a base layer of red Leicester cheese. In fact, I need that to fill all the way to the end. On the other half, we will be using mozzarella. Add the inner lid. Add the outer lid, turn the power on, fire up the induction hob, and just like that, I have performed a miracle. I'm so confused about what's going on outside, right? Look at this. What is that? It looks like smoke coming out. Right, hold on a second, this is bad. Right, some lorry was just outside mine. Or just out the front. I swear that's a fire, that is not clouds. What is happening? It is. What is happening?
Later that night, something caught his eye. Smoke in the distance, and it was building fast. As he watched it grow, the feeling that settled over him wasn't just concern. Something about it didn't sit right.
Right, so I'm trying to film me at the same time as filming the fire up there. Something bad's happened, obviously. I know who it was because there was someone on my CCTV. It was all a bit weird. I'll tell you about it in a minute. I'm going to go speak to this bus driver.
Whereabouts are we?
We're near Winchelsea.
Down near Winchelsea Beach. There's a fire involving a caravan by the looks of it.
Penlevel Road.
Okay, thank you, my love. They've had several more calls. I've just rang them, and basically they are on their way.
Right.
They have had more calls.
I'm just going to go spin my van around in case someone comes back and does that to my van, because someone's done that.
It has looked like it has been done.
Well, it has been done because the geezer just ran past me, jumped in his motor and sped off that way.
It could be arson then.
Right, someone set fire to the van. that's just down the road behind me, and it was the person who was parked in front of me. I'll explain more in a minute, but I need to move my van in case they're going to do it to mine as well. Obviously, I'm no longer going to be staying here, but the old Bill, they're going to want to talk to me about this. I can see a flashing light up near it, so that's obviously some sort of traffic control coming along. The camper van is fully ablaze behind me there. This is no joke. We've got a massive tail of traffic all down here. I can hear the fire engine in the background making its way up. This is not good.
It wasn't an accident. The moment that became clear, he moved. He pulled his van away from the area immediately, not knowing who had started the fire or whether they were finished. Once he had some distance, he went back on foot to see what had happened.
Just walking a bit closer to it now. You can see the fire engine's just down there. The camper van is now in ashes on the floor. It's been completely burnt out. You can see the guys just down there spraying the last bits to make sure it's fully out. But that is the end of one vehicle. I guess I've got to wait for the police to turn up, because if I leave the scene, they're going to think it's suspicious. But other than that, I don't know what to do. Obviously, I'm not going to sleep here for the night now. It sounds like it might have been targeted on that particular van because it's been sat there for ages, apparently. But you never know, it could have been just a random camper van burn. Yeah, at the moment, there's no point in just continuing to film the old flashing light ahead of me there. The fire's out, so as we speak, look, it's stopped flashing. The fire engine's driving off. It looks like the drama has finished for now, but I am going to sit tight and see if the police turn up, because like I say, if I disappear now, it could look a bit suspicious on me.
A camper van had been burned to the frame. Firefighters were still on scene working through the last of it. The police were nowhere to be found. Ads was left standing there with no answers and an unsettled feeling he couldn't shake. He eventually drove further down the road and found a safer spot to park for the night. The next morning, he went through his van's CCTV footage.
When I was eating my second toastie, I looked up on the CCTV and I saw a van just parked up in front of me. Now, bear in mind that I'd chosen to park in this particular lay-by because it's a small one. Now, some of these lay-bys up here are absolutely massive. There's other small ones as well, but there's plenty of them, right? So I thought, if I park there where that car was, that's where we were, no one's going to come into this spot because there's just no need for it. And whilst I was eating, I looked up on my CCTV, like I said, and I saw a van was parked there. Now, I was going to get out of the van and make a joke about it. I was going to say, how dare they park in my driveway and all this, just for a laugh. But before I had a chance to do that, I was finishing my food, and like I said, this geezer ran past the van that way and up here. Now, as soon as I heard his footsteps running and panting past my van, I looked up on the CCTV. I was like, what's all that about? Why is someone out for a run at this time of night? But I saw that he jumped straight into his van and sped off, which I thought was a bit weird, and I was wondering why. But in my head, I just come to the conclusion that maybe he'd been caught short. He needed the toilet, and he'd run up onto the beach, done his business, and then he jumped back in the van and just carried on his journey. So I looked back on the camera, and I saw a light on the front camera and a light on the rear camera. Now, that's not out of the blue. I thought it was just headlights coming down the road. One of them was. It was a bus that was coming down this road here. That's the bus that you saw last night. And the other light was up there, which turned out to be the fire, but at the time I thought it was another headlight coming down. But then I noticed the light from the back of the van was getting brighter, and there were some clouds, right? Now, bearing in mind, it's a split screen, so it was really small what I was looking at. I could see these dark clouds coming over, and I was like, that doesn't look normal. It was a bit weird. And then I put it onto channel 2 so I could see the whole thing full screen, and obviously that's when I realised it looked like a fire. That's when I hit record on this camera.
What the footage showed was deliberate. A van had pulled in directly in front of him. Not out of necessity, there were other spaces available. A figure stepped out, walked past Ads' van, and climbed toward the beach, where he crouched down and appeared to be preparing something.
So from that point onwards, you saw everything unfold as it happened. But last night, after checking my CCTV, I found out what happened prior to all of that. He got out of his van from here. He's walked along past my van and he has approached the stairs which lead up towards the beach. So he's made his way up those stairs and he's come along the top bit here. Now, as he's got to about this point right here, you can see him on my camera he bends down and he's sort of preparing something. He's probably got, I don't know, petrol in his lighters or whatever, but basically he's doing something up on this spot here where he's sort of ducking down and looking in his bag or whatever it is. Now he's doing that for about 30 seconds and then he starts heading down this ramp here, back towards the spot over here where the fire took place. So now he's back down on the road here and he's not far from where the inferno took place. And as you can see, it is just here in front of us. Now at this point you can't really see exactly what he does, but that's the last I see of him for a while, because what I think must have happened, there were cars coming up and down this road at the time, so he's probably just wanted to get away from this as quick as possible, and he's taken this route up here, so I couldn't see that bit on the camera, and I didn't spot him again for a while until he was further back there. But there is more on that CCTV of him disappearing into the night, so I'll show you that bit in a minute. But first, let's just take a look at this, and to be honest, this just confirms what I thought after watching back the footage. There was a few people that were on that bus that were basically saying it was a caravan. At the time I thought, I don't know why, I just in my head thought they were referring to like a motorhome type of thing, but it looks like it was actually just a caravan, not a motor caravan or not a camper van, because you can see the structure of it here is completely demolished, and obviously if it was a proper vehicle there'd be some sort of structure left. So from here he has obviously come up these steps that are right next to the blaze, and he's come up onto the beach here because I couldn't spot him on the CCTV at this point for a little while. And so we're back now where my van and his van was parked. So he's come all the way along this bit on top of the beach basically. He hasn't even come this close to the road here because I couldn't spot him at all on this bit. The next time you see him on the CCTV, he's literally standing up there on the bank next to his van, and he's sort of looking back probably to check that the fire's started properly. And once he realises his mission is complete, that's when he runs back down the steps past my van at an extraordinary rate, and that is obviously the point where I first heard him in person, and then he's jumped back into his van and disappeared into the night. So from looking at all of that, it looks to me like it was a planned, targeted attack.
The footage then showed the same man moving down toward the area where the fire would start, dropping out of frame as cars passed. He reappeared shortly after on the bank beside Ads's van, watching the fire take hold. Once he was satisfied, he ran back past the van, breathing hard, got into his vehicle, and drove away. That was the moment Ads had first heard him outside. The footage pointed clearly to a premeditated act. The motive was never established.
But one thing that I will say is, if that was completely random, for all he knew, there could have been people inside that thing. Or he could have picked a different vehicle and it could have been mine. But thankfully that wasn't the case, and there wasn't anyone in that caravan. So it could have been a lot worse. We need to look on the bright side, and we also need to get back to the original theme of this video. Now, I was going to explain all this last night, but obviously the video steered itself into a new direction. So basically, last week my mum was in an antique shop in Rye and she saw a rare item which she really liked the look of. Now, it's her birthday in a few days time, so I thought I would come and buy that item. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know what it looks like. It's sort of a vasey, teapotty item. I will recognise it when I see it. But the reason why I didn't ring ahead was because if they know that I'm coming down just for that item, they might hoik the price up. And I don't even know what the price is in the first place. In fact, I hope I can afford it. But yeah, the whole theme of this video was going to revolve around that Holy Grail, and I was going to be trekking across loads of fields. There's like a castle nearby. We're going to go on a proper mission to get to this antique shop on foot. But because most of the video is now taken up with the carnage that happened last night, we're going to keep this section brief. I'm just going to drive there as close as I can, find a parking spot, and hopefully go in and secure the Holy Grail. What an absolute legend. Right, we got to go to the other side of that bit there. It's just some sort of marina thing. Go around the water, find a shop, hopefully secure the prize.
Ads came out of it physically unharmed, and so did his van. A close call that easily could have gone the other way. Not everyone in situations like this gets that outcome. With the night behind him, Ads didn't abandon the original plan. He found parking without any trouble, made it to the shop, and walked out with the antique he had come for, a rare Vassia teapot. What started as a terrifying night ended with exactly what he had set out to find. A strange and unsettling story, but one that ended on his terms.